Previously on the Frontier Farmer. This is the area that we've elected to put our yard in. First things first, it's cutting down the trees. We have cleared quite a sizable space here now, so the job for now is to bring these trees into some sort of order. That is all the trees cleared from that space now. So let's get to loading our new IFA truck, so let's hop in it and take a little look. Let's get this second load to the sell point. The snow is still falling, but let's get busy and create our new yard. So there we are, our fantastic new yard space. And then over here is our firewood processing station. Next we really are going to have to step up over winter the log processing. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer. Been trying to get some water out of the well this morning, but it's a little bit frozen as we're now in January, and there is a frost covering the homestead. Now, since last time I have loaded up the firewood making area with all of our offcuts of wood, which we cleared out from our new yard area last time, and that's been busy making some firewood overnight, so we need to take some to sell. Also, we are in January, so it is the best sell price for potatoes, and potatoes we do have lots of now because our open air garden has been busy making them all. So we really need a trailer so we can load up all of our produce, the potatoes and the firewood, so we can take it to the sell point. So I'm going to jump in the farm all first of all. Going to head over to the dealership. We need some sort of flatbed trailer so we can load our potatoes and load our firewood. And I'm also going to get a big bag lifter for the wheel loader so we can have a shot at lifting up some of those very heavy firewood pallets. Well, it certainly is a crisp morning. The frost is about, but we're at the dealership, so let's pick up a trailer and also a big bag lifter. We've got the log grab, which we also need to cart back to the homestead. So the flatbed we are going to go for is the brother to our log dolly trailer, and it is the BSS P93S. And yes, this is the flatbed design. Don't need to change too much to it, so we're going to buy it for $3,343. And for our wheel loader, we are going to get this big bag handler, as it's very effective at lifting planks, for $250. And I've also spotted this shovel fork for logs for our wheel loader, which looks to be pretty handy, so we might give this one a go as well. Right, here is our new flatbed trailer with some of the attachments loaded on. Had to load them on and fix them in place so we can cart them back. Let's get hitched up and we can head back to the homestead and we can get some of our potatoes and firewood. Back of the homestead, and we'll swing around here so we can just get all of the implements unloaded, and then I think we'll start with potatoes. Right, that's the log grabs unloaded for the time being. Let's get this big bag lifter and we'll take that over this way because this is going to be very handy for lifting up these very heavy firewood pallets, which we will do after we've loaded up the potatoes. back in the farm hall, and we'll head over to the open garden so we can start to get these potatoes loaded. Now luckily the pallets are light enough that we can load them by hand. We've also got some honey, I see, but I think we're going to be keeping that honey for now. We've not got huge stocks of it. So let's swing on round here. Got quite an inventory of potatoes, and we'll keep a pallet or two just so we've got enough of our own stocks for winter. Right, so as you can see we can get these by hand and load them on. So I'll load as many as I can, and then we'll drop some in the shed for us and then take the rest to sell. There we go, that's a full trailer, and we've got 5 pallets left over, so we'll keep those for ourselves, I think. Let's get these strapped up and we can head on over to the sell point. Off we go. 12,000 litres of potatoes. That's pretty impressive. So let's head over to the sell point, get these sold, and then it'll be the firewood's turn. Right, made it to the dealership so we can get all these potatoes sold here. There we go, 4,567. Not bad at all. Right, let's go grab some firewood and see how much we can get for all of that. We'll swing round the back, park near the open garden, and then we can leave it up to the wheel loader to load our firewood pallets. Okay, so let's have a little look at how much we have got. Oh, so we've got nearly 10,000 litres of firewood, so we should be able to get some pallets out now. Okay, so we spawned 10 pallets. We've got 578 litres left in the firewood station, and there's also 1 pallet left over there from last time, which we will keep for ourselves so we can keep the fire going over winter. Right, let's give this big bag lifter a try. I think we'll start from the left hand end just because that's going to be a bit easier, and we should just be able to pull up to it and latch on using the tie cables. Now, can we get 2 at a time? That's the question. Oh, nearly taken 3. And that's just because it's frictioned with the side of the pallet there, but that's okay. We've managed to lift up 2. So let's get this loaded on. I'm not sure we're going to have space on this trailer for all 10 pallets, but we will certainly give it a go. Right, let me get this loaded, and we can get on over to the sell point. There we go, so that's 1 load, 6,000 litres that we've managed to get. Couldn't get all 10 pallets on, but that's understandable, they're quite chunky pallets. Right, so we should be able to start selling some firewood. And here we go, just needed to get it off the trailer to sell it. And that seems to have made a sizable profit. There we go, 14,827. I think we'll get that second load loaded up and get that sold as well. And we're back with the second load, so let's get this sold. And there we are, another tidy, just shy of $10,000. And that is really going to be helpful because we are now going to be moving on to some more forestry. And that's to clear space for a logging area back at the homestead. Now, logging area sounds a bit funny because we are in a woodland area, but we really need a good amount of space to be able to manage and process logs. And I've got something in mind because we haven't got any modern forestry machines that's going to help us cut down trees at a bit of a faster rate. Now this old Massey Ferguson 711 skid steer has come up and it's $25,750, but the good thing about it is it can fit a buzzsaw on the front which will be able to cut down trees. So we're going to go ahead and buy this. And to go with it, we are going for the DFM, the Doughty Forestry MFG RT3000 saw, which only takes 60 horsepower. It's quite expensive at $10,500. Now this saw is very capable, and I think it's going to guarantee us the ability to cut down any size of tree just with this little skid steer. So here is the skid steer. Let's hop in it and fire it up. Very nice, very sort of old mechanical machine. Let's get the saw loaded on the front. So this saw on the front we can move around, raise and lower, and that's really going to help us with the ability to cut down a forestry area. Right, so let's beacon on, and we'll leave the tractor and trailer here for now and get on back to the homestead. Right, we've made it back to the homestead, and I'm going to head straight over to this side because over here is where we're going to look to place our logging management area, and we'll cut a sizable area into this section. Now I'm going to keep a line of trees between the field and the open air garden, so it's somewhat kept separate, but we will need to make a pathway in. So I'm going to start by cutting down this tree over here. So let's get this front attachment lowered to the right position. I want to be leaving as little stump as possible so we can drive over it comfortably, and we should be able to head on forward and cut down this tree, and it will fall the opposite direction to where we cut it, which is quite handy. Now some of the bigger trees have a bit of a sweet spot. We'll just have to work that out as we go, but that's the first tree cut, and that's the biggest width of tree that we have on the dark forest. So I'm going to set about cutting out a nice sizable area for our logging management zone, and I'll see you once we've made some progress. Right, so I've been bustling around in the forest and I've cut down all the trees I think that we need to cut down for our new logging management space. Now it looks a bit like chaos because we've had to chop down trees this way, that way, but I promise there will become some order of it. Now, I am going to park up the old Massey skid steer. I've had to drive on the field a couple of times unfortunately, so we'll probably have to roll it again in the new season. But yeah, let's park up the Massey, and then the plan is I'm going to quickly just deal with all of these stumps, and then that's going to give us the ability to come in and move and manage these logs as we need to. So just leave this with me for a brief moment and I will clear all the stumps. I've cleared as many stumps as I can see. Inevitably there will be some more that I've missed, probably a handful or so. Let's just turn the beacon off here. And next I'm going to journey on back to the distribution centre because there's going to be another piece of equipment that we need next. Right, here we are. Now inevitably we were in need of something a lot more powerful to push and pull and winch out the logs that we do cut down. So this IREM TAF 657 skidder is available for a very modest price of $19,000. It's 300 horsepower and it's going to be able to really push and winch out the logs much better than our farm with the winch attachment. So let's go ahead and buy that. Here it is. It's a bit of a rust bucket, but it's what's available and it's a fair old price considering that it is 300 horsepower. I've had to accept that we've got older equipment to work with and that's all. But yeah, it seems to run pretty fine and got some speed to it as well, which is pretty nifty for the old forest. Take a look on the inside. It's just a very old machine. But let's get this back to the area we've just cut down all the trees, and we're going to push and winch out some of the logs to clear a bit of a space, and that's to make way for a area of log management that we really need. So in the area we've cut down the trees there is a natural clearing over here, so I'm just going to use the bumper on front, the sled. But yeah, if we lower this we should be able to push the trees out of the way, providing that the stumps are clear as well. And that is going to make some space for a placeable that is going to help us manage all of these logs, and I'll show you when we place it. And the good thing about this skidder as well is we can activate the winch and we can come along and winch trees out of the way as well, which is pretty handy. Now this thing has got some good beef to it, so it can pull logs pretty easily. It's got very good grip with these tyres. Okay, so we've pushed some trees out of the way and we've made a bit of a clearing using the front plough on the front of the skidder, and we're going to be placing this wood storage placeable. Now this is going to make our lives a lot easier because what it's going to do is allow us to deposit the trees as they are without needing to delimb them or cut them down to size, and it's going to store them and process them into 6-meter logs, delimb them, and then we can come and take from there to load up and sell as and when we need to. So it really takes away the need to delimb and cut the logs down to size and does that on our behalf. So we're going to go ahead and place this, I think, somewhere here. Fantastic, there we go. So it doesn't look like much now, but let's hop in the skidder and we can grab a tree and get it loaded and see it in action. But this skidder is so powerful I can pretty much just drag these 2 trees straight in here into the sort of spawn area of this wood storage, and if we head on over here we have the ability to store the trees, and they have been accepted, and once we have enough we will start to see some logs appearing in the log stack. So I'm going to get busy chaperoning all of these logs into our log storage yard, that's going to process it, delimit, and cut it down into 6-meter logs. And then when we have enough, we can take some to sell, and we are going to need to, because we're down to $450, which is pretty low. So let's get this all winched and ushered into our new wood storage yard. Okay, so we are down to our last log, and I think this is also the last stump that I can see, but no doubt there'll be one lurking somewhere. And I also couldn't cut every stump just because some of them were a little bit too low to register, so I'll have to come and clear them with a proper stump grinder once we can get hold of one. But it's safe to say that the skidder has been doing a fantastic job of winching all of these full-size trees out of the forest and into our wood storage yard. Now this has been working quite well. It's nice and easy, makes our lives much easier, and of course this cost £50,000, and for that we really have got quite a few things: an area to store wood, and then also a means of automatically chopping down to size and delimbing the trees for us, which does take a long portion of time in forestry. And also because we've got limited tools available to us, because we're using older equipment, we really don't have use of any modern forestry machines. So I think this is the best way I've come up with that can easily manage the wood and the forestry aspect for us. So yeah, we will just need to cut down trees, and as I'm saying that, I've spotted one more tree that we can collect and another stump that we need to grind. There's always one lurking somewhere out of sight. Yeah, I think this setup is really going to help us in the future, because the dark forest has lots of forest areas that we need to cut down to expand our homestead. And if we're spending all of the time cutting down trees, delimbing them, chopping them down to size, it really is going to eat into the time of expanding. So I think buying this production is really going to help us from an efficiency and a time saving perspective. And the skidder has quite a handy winch, which is brilliant. So let's get this last tree loaded in there. Fantastic. And I think we will put some sort of hut or workshop here, so it does look like there's a sawmill chopping the trees down to size. Excellent. Right, we need to find somewhere to park the skidder. I think we'll have to put it somewhere over here for now, and in our new log management area we will have to place some sheds so we can keep our log equipment all nicely stored up. There we go. That is the skidder parked up, and what a fantastic job it has done today. Superb. Jumped in the wheel loader, and I'm going to drop the big bag lifter off, and I'm going to be grabbing not this first log grab, but the red log fork. Yeah, I think it's actually called a log shovel. And we are sneaking back in here to grab the dolly log trailer. Last time we did try a log trailer that fit on our new truck, but unfortunately that was a little bit too unstable. But I have plans for another one. However, we don't have a lot of money left. We've got $500, so we really need to sell some wood in order to buy a new log trailer. So we'll take this trailer over here and we'll sell at least one load, and I might get busy between sessions selling some wood so we can purchase a new log trailer for our truck. But here we go, we've cleared out all of this area and we've got a fantastic new log and wood storage area. Now I'm going to plonk the trailer up here, and there we go, it takes a little while to unhitch. But what we can do is we can come up to our wood storage area, and now that it's processed the wood that we've put in it, we can come along and request a extraction of the wood by way of logs, and we can express how many we want. We've got 160,000 litres of wood, so that is a lot. I reckon we're going to go with 6 logs, which is going to be 11,172 litres. There we go. So it spawned those all in nicely into that loading plate. And I'm going to test out this new log shovel and see how it gets on with loading. At the log sell point with our first volume of logs from our new wood storage area. So we'll get those sold. $7,302. There we go for our 6 logs. And I think that was 11,000 litres. So yeah, not too bad. I'll have to check how that is on price. But our wood storage area can take both the pine and the spruce wood logs, which is very handy. And those are the 2 types of logs that we have here at the Dark Forest. Alright, so we'll park up here and get ready for another load to be taken. There we go. Now I'm going to look to sell some more logs in the next session, but here we go. We've got 149,000 litres of wood and we are going to get that all sold. I have some desires to further expand this area. We are going to place a ramp which is going to benefit the wheel loader loading a much bigger trailer than this one, and yet we will next time be purchasing a much bigger log trailer for our truck. Our Massey Ferguson skid steer has done a fantastic job with cutting down the trees, beats the old chainsaw, and our new but old skidder has done a fantastic job as well, pulling out the full-size trees from the forest. So next time we're going to have our work cut out for ourselves, loading and selling lots of wood to claw back some money, and that's going to be in readiness for drilling season when that comes around. So that is it for today. The January sunshine has cleared away the frost, and that's hopefully ushering in this springtime. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and a subscribe, and if you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. Until next time on The Frontier Farmer, I will catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.